Good evening, everybody. My name is Jenny Pearson. I'm an Education Officer for the Primary Health Network. Welcome to our first Release the Load session, meditation for clinicians and practice staff who think they can't meditate. I've really been looking forward to this, and I think we'll all get a lot out of it. And I think it's very necessary in the times that we're in to really be able to relax and to get all that busyness out of our minds. Before I go any further, I'd just like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land that we meet upon tonight and pay respect to elders past, present and emerging. Our presenter tonight is Kim Durga. Kim is a former barrister who represented litigants in stress claims arising from workplace anxiety, depression or burnout. She founded the Wellbeing Initiative, a charity that runs programs for health workers to assist them to manage the load and the feelings of being overwhelmed, compassion fatigue and relationship challenges. We will be doing an evaluation on all of these sessions. In the chat box, I will put a link to Slido so that after the session, you can just quickly fill it in. It will only take 20 seconds. So that's all from me. I'm just going to hand over to my manager, Alison Tattersall, who has done one of these sessions with Kim before, and she just wanted to give a quick testimony about her experience. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny. My name's Alison Tattersall and I'm the education team leader for the Hunter New England Central Coast Primary Health Network. And I had the opportunity to do one of Kim's sessions a few months ago. We had a GP long lunch on the Central Coast, and I must say that it was leading into COVID, and it was probably one of the worst weeks that I had leading up to that conference, with lots of things going wrong and key speaker pulling out at the last minute due to everything that was happening with COVID. So I was feeling pretty low, and I went to Kim's session. And I must say also I'm probably one of the cynical ones that think I can't meditate, I'm not into yoga, I can't stop things going through my mind. It's just going erratic all of the time. And we spent a couple of hours and it was absolutely wonderful. And I did feel like at the end of it that there was a huge load that was lifted from my mind, and I felt so much more relaxed and managed to cope with the stresses of the day really well. And I thoroughly recommend this. So from one person that says they can't meditate, I actually got to do it and I felt a lot better for it. So thank you, Kim, and I hope you will enjoy this.
Thanks very much. I really appreciate that. And thank you so much for the opportunity to be with you guys this evening. And I hope that we're going to have a lovely, relaxing time. And let's just start with just 5 minutes of just settling into the space. So I'm going to invite you to take a deep breath in, close your eyes if that feels comfortable for you, and just raise your shoulders up and let them down like that. Do it again. And imagine you can just shake the day off, and that you can just connect with yourself right now and be aware of your breath. And just see if you can do slow and deep breathing right down into your belly. And with a long, slow out breath, just relaxing into right now. Taking a deep breath in again. And a long, slow out breath as though you can just blow away the day that you've had. And any of the burdens that have been on your shoulders today. With the next out breath, imagine you can release through the back of your neck and shoulders. In fact, imagine you can breathe through the back of your neck and shoulders and releasing. And just allow the muscles within your body to become a little softer, relaxing your shoulders and your arms. Let your hands relax. Relaxing your tummy muscles. Let your hips and thighs and legs be relaxed, and even your feet. Just imagine you can just let all the muscles in the whole body relax. This is your time for you. Take a deep breath in. And once more with the out breath, imagine you can release the day like that. And let's have an intention this evening that we will leave tonight with a tool or two that will help us to be more calm and peaceful, and with a little more confidence in our capacity to find inner calm. Let's just have that as our simple intention for now. So just taking a moment to notice your mind. And then place your awareness in your feet. Bring your awareness back to the mind again. And let your mind know it's okay to relax now. It's time for you. And when you're ready, just bring your awareness back, open your eyes, wriggle your fingers and toes if you want to, and we'll proceed. So I have a few images to share with you. So we'll go there now. Okay. So yes, I'm Kim. You've heard a little about my background. The Wellbeing Initiative is here to help you guys with the incredible burdens that you are under. And whilst I've been running a charity for a long time in the wellbeing space, the project around assisting people in health really came about when we were all just so concerned in the beginning of the COVID pandemic. And one of my colleagues, who's a psychiatrist in New York, collaborated with me in creating a whole lot of resources that are available to anyone who's working in health. And I'll talk more about those resources that are available to you as well towards the end. Okay, so I can't meditate. Well, that's what I used to think too. And the only reason I learned was because I was under so much stress in my life at the time. When I was a young lawyer with my own practice, I had a 2-year-old baby. I'd just gotten divorced, and truly I was about as stressed as you can get. And one of my colleagues at work, actually one of the other barristers, said, "You're a mess. You should come and meet my meditation teacher." And I thought, oh, thanks. But anyway, I was a bit desperate, willing to try anything that would help because I wasn't sleeping well. And so I went along, met the teachers, they were lovely, and started meditating. And that was in the early 1990s, way before it was fashionable. And I've been meditating ever since. So I want to share with you just a few of the things that have helped me as I established a meditation practice and had that support throughout my life for the last almost 30 years. So Tonight's session is going to be as follows. So we've done our arriving in the space, a little bit about my journey as I've just shared with you. I'd like to share some of the highlights around the research in meditation, just to set your mind at rest about the veracity of meditation and some of the applications of meditation in our society. Then what we'll do is about a 15-minute super relaxing meditation practice, and I'll guide you through that. And then at the end, we have 5 minutes where we can have feedback, questions. I'll run through some resources with you that might help you and what's coming up next. So, does your mind drive you nuts when you try to meditate? I can tell you that this is a problem for many people who would love to start meditating, but the blah, 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 blah just starts playing in the mind, and it makes it really hard to let yourself go into what we imagine the meditative space is, which is we imagine that other people can get their mind to just be still, and that there's just this peace and this emptiness and this gorgeousness, and that they don't have thoughts running through their mind. Well, I'm here to tell you that that's not the case for most people. And I saw an interview with the Dalai Lama not that long ago, who you'd reckon would be pretty good at meditation. And he said, when asked about whether or not he was able to empty his mind of all thought when he meditates, he went, no, he said, not unless I go on a really deep retreat, and I'm retreating, for 10 days and meditating for 10 days, then I'll have no mind. But the rest of the time, of course, you got thoughts going on. So I'd like to lead you through a little bit of that and how we can utilize meditation to help our mind to heal our mind. Firstly, what is this beast called meditation? And for me, the definition is a series of different practices that can help us to relax, to calm down, to get in balance, and not just in physical balance, but also mentally, emotionally, and spiritually as well, however you perceive spirituality to be. Whatever you feel puts you in connection with other people, with the landscape you live in, with the earth maybe, or with a higher power, anything of that nature, all of that is possible to experience sooner or later in meditation. So I did wonder if any of you meditate regularly and whether or not you have any blocks to meditation. And I thought I might just, because I can't see your chat box, but there is a chat box. If you want to, you can use the chat box to let me know if there's any particular questions you've got about meditation. Then down the bottom is the little chat icon. You can pop a message in and let me know if this is something that you'd like to look at. So I'm just going to assume, I think, because we've only got about half an hour now together, that some of you will have meditated and some of you won't. So I think I'll probably just do that, but by all means, put in some questions as we go along. All right, let's share screens again. Oops, it's disappeared on me. Here we go. All right, so here's something that was written about meditation, that meditation helps us to tap into the interior resources that we all possess, but that are mostly underdeveloped or undeveloped in our education system and in our society more broadly, at least up until this point of time. And this quote about meditation comes from possibly an unexpected source, which is the UK Parliament. So in 2015, there was an all-party parliamentary group formed around meditation, and they decided that it was so beneficial on all the research that was put to the parliamentary inquiry about it, that they then instituted meditation programs in pretty much all government areas in the UK, and that included schools, it included prisons, it even included Parliament House, where they've got meditations running regularly. So if you went back to the dim and misty dark old days of the 1970s and 80s, which possibly some of you don't even remember, but I did. I was there, I remember. There weren't any studies of meditations back then. But it started to change in the 2000s, and as you can see, the trajectory of interest scientifically in meditation has grown very dramatically. And until in about 2016, they were averaging around 1,100 studies per year throughout the world on meditation. So it's one of the most studied phenomena that's around at the moment. If you're looking for a good book on the science of meditation, then I recommend this one. Daniel Goleman is very well known in the field and has written some wonderful books, including Emotional Intelligence. And Richard Davidson is an academic psychiatrist who's the director of Centre for Healthy Minds. And so they've collected a lot of evidence, and some of it I'm referring to in the next couple of minutes. So from that book, there's a couple of studies that I'd just like to draw your attention to. This one is from Johns Hopkins University, and it was a meta-analysis, systemic study of 47 different studies of meditation. And the research showed that meditation lessens depression, anxiety, and pain equal to the effect of medication, but without side effects. And I've certainly found benefit that way myself in my own life. Here's a very cool guy who knows a lot about meditating. That's Dr. Herbert Benson, and he works at Harvard and is the founding president of the Mind Body Medical Institute there. And he's just done a ton of research, and he's a leading figure in the field. And he talks a lot about the relaxation response, and that we know about the nervous system and how we get into that sympathetic mode where we're in fight or flight mode, and it's really hard to get the body to relax and to just wind down. And so a lot of his work has got to do with studying the relaxation response and bringing our mind back to a peaceful place. And he's very big on the idea that you don't worry if thoughts come up. You just go, oh, well, and keep going with your meditation. And don't get hooked on it. He studied a lot of different types of meditation, and there are many, many different types of meditation available. We'll be experiencing a number of different types over our 12 sessions together. But he says it can be as simple as just close your eyes and breathe slowly, and that you can use any repetitive word or sound or prayer or any repetitive movement even, like walking, and bring your mind back to it repeatedly, and that will bring the relaxation response. So it sounds almost so simple, doesn't it? Sounds too good to be true, but in fact, it really is quite simple. Some of the uses that meditation has been put to in our culture, and this is by no means a comprehensive list, but it includes the enhancement of performance, for example, elite athletes, and also special military forces. The elite military forces are very often now including mindfulness and other forms of meditation in their training. Increasingly, it's used to reduce or eliminate the symptoms of depression, stress, and anxiety. And it's got an important role to play in the prevention of burnout. And I would think that this would be of very great interest to most of you at the moment, because I've got no idea how you're coping in the environment that we're currently living in. And also, meditation can be used to improve overall health and well-being. And as I say, there's a ton of studies. You name it, there's probably a study on it somewhere. So if it's all that good, why isn't everyone already doing it? Well, there's probably a number of reasons for that, but I think it's habit more than anything, that we're just not in the habit of it. And like anything new, it takes quite a bit of effort to get in the habit of something new. And also, like anything, practice improves our experience of meditation. I think a lot of people worry that they're not doing it right, or they have cycles in which they experience thoughts or emotions coming up, and they think, oh, I must be doing it wrong. It's too hard. I don't like the way my mind is making so much noise, or I don't like that suddenly I'm feeling a bit sad, or I'm feeling a bit angry, or a bit frustrated, or my leg's starting to twitch or something. I'm not going to do it. And so they don't persist. I think that's probably why people don't meditate. There are many resources now to help you, including a great number of apps that are helpful, but the research shows that it is actually helpful to have a teacher, an actual human, rather than a robot teaching you how to meditate. And once you get it, then of course the apps are very, very helpful. And recorded meditations I learnt with a teacher, but the teacher showed me some guided meditations, which I used every day. For years, twice a day I meditated. When I got up in the morning before I went to sleep in the nighttime, I would meditate, and it completely changed my experience of myself and my life at the time. I hadn't been sleeping at all well, and because I would meditate in bed of a nighttime, what I'd find was that half the time I wouldn't get to the end of the meditation because I'd already be clonked out. And I thought that was awesome. Wow, if meditation does nothing else but make me fall asleep, it's worth learning. So anyway, it's so much more as well. So my tips for meditation. You may feel frustrated when you start to meditate. There may be days that you wonder why you're bothering, but truly it is something that for your mind can be as significant as bathing is for your body. And let's face it, there's some days where if you're someone who likes to have a bath, you get in the bath and you want it to be all nice and it's going to be just the right temperature and you're going to be so relaxed and you've got some candles burning in the background and you're feeling like, oh, I'm just going to defrag, it's all going to be good. And then the phone rings and you forgot to bring it in the bathroom. Or one of your kids comes in, Mum, or you run out of hot water, or you name it. There's all these things that can go wrong with your bath experience. But basically, whether or not it becomes really enjoyable or not, you still end up clean at the end of the day when you get out of a bath. And meditation is similar for your mind. That some days your meditation is just awesome. You just think, oh, why haven't I been doing this for years? And then other days it's like, yeah, well, whatever. But doing it every day, really helpful. Your mind will love you. My meditation tips include things like, don't worry if people say to you, oh, you shouldn't meditate lying down because you might fall asleep and that'd be terrible. And I say, well, you do what's right for you. There's no point sitting cross-legged if you are not comfortable sitting cross-legged. Make sure your body's comfortable. And so a comfortable chair is usually how I meditate, although I often meditate in bed as well. If you like lying down, well, lie down. If you like being cross-legged, be cross-legged. It does help to have your spine quite straight. That's quite helpful. It seems to let there be a flow of energy through your body that's helpful. To have your hands just sort of face up on your lap in a relaxed kind of a way, that's helpful. Sometimes you'll see people putting their thumb and forefinger together, and that's a yoga mudra. It's called a mudra. It's a way of directing energy through the body. And that can be helpful too if it feels right for you. But if it doesn't feel right for you, then don't do it. Just have your hands relaxed. In this day and age, very important to have your phone on silent and give yourself the time. This is time for you in meditation. And sometimes what I do is I set a timer and I might say to myself, right, I've just got 20 minutes. I'm going to set my timer so that just in case I do fall asleep or just in case I go deep into meditation, the timer will make sure that I don't miss the bus, or I don't miss the appointment that I've got to get to. And then mentally, the biggest tip of all is to just give yourself the gift of the time that the meditation will take, because they do say that an hour of meditation is, about half an hour of meditation is equal to about 2 hours of sleep in terms of the amount of nourishment for your body. So try it and see. All right, so here's what we're going to do today in our little meditation session, because we're almost up to meditation session, which is we're going to do a little bit of breath work. Breath is used a lot to help prepare people for the meditative state. And we're going to visualize things in our body, maybe waterfalls, things like that. If you're very visual, it'll be very easy. If you're not so visual, just kind of fake it till you make it. You know, it took me a while to learn to do visualization stuff, but once you get it, it's very enjoyable. And also your subconscious, which often is the place where we hold on to a lot of stress, seems to enjoy the process of visualization and the use of metaphor. Like, for instance, when we've got the weight of the world on our shoulders and then we just release that weight. So that's a metaphor. You know, we don't really have the weight of the world on our shoulders, but it can feel like it. Or we feel like we've got rocks in our stomach, you know, or something, a rubber band around our head. When you've got a headache, it can feel like you've got a tight band around your head. These metaphors really help your subconscious to let go and flow. We'll be doing a practice where we watch our mind and we have the experience of actually waiting for the next thought in our mind. And funnily enough, very often when you wait for the next thought in your mind won't think anything. And you're going, you're kidding me. All these times you think, and now here we are waiting for the next thought to come into your mind, and it won't. Anyway, it's a trick to get the mind to meditate. But be that as it may, thoughts will come up. And when they do, we're going to imagine that we can pluck the thought out of our head and gently put it on a leaf floating down the river and let it go. So we're not going to get angry at the thought. We're not going to get frustrated with ourselves or our minds. We're just going to enjoy the process. And we'll keep bringing our mind back all the time to just being like a person who's floating down a river, where the river is literally flowing through your mind on the inside and cleansing it and letting go of the stress of the day. So that's pretty much a synopsis of what we're going to get up to in the next little while. And so now we're going to practice. To get yourself ready, as I said before, sit, lie down, whatever you want to, wherever you're comfortable. Put your hands face up, back straight. And then it's usually better if you close your eyes if you feel comfortable to do so. And let's start with our breathing. And here we go. Being aware of your breath. And with the next breath, really filling your lungs as though they wouldn't fit another tiny little bit of air in. They're completely full. And then imagine you can breathe out through the front of your chest. Very good. And fill the lungs again. And this time imagine you can breathe straight out through the back of your chest, letting go of all of the stresses of the day. Imagine next time that you can breathe straight in through the top of your head. Breathe in through the top of the head, down to the heart area, and then release the breath through the back of your body. And just let your body and your mind now know that it is safe to let down and let go of your day. Breathing in from above, in through the top of the head, and out through the back of the heart area. And now just be aware of your mind and smile at your mind and thank your mind for all of the wonderful work that it does day in, day out. What a precious and marvelous instrument it is. But as you watch your mind, consider who is watching. If I'm watching my mind, then the mind is not me. The mind is an instrument that I utilize in my life. And breathing deeply in to the inner core of yourself. And then imagine you can breathe out through your mind. Releasing the breath through the whole of the head region, releasing upwards. Take another breath in and breathing out through the back of your head. And as you breathe slowly and deeply into your belly, just think of I am this amazing being who's watching my mind. And just watch it until it starts to think a thought. And smile at the mind. And then let the thought just go. And imagine now that we're going to walk to a place that is your favorite place near water, near a river that is majestic and slow and meanders. And there's a sandy place where you can walk down into the water of the river. It's sunny. You're able to drop the clothing that you're wearing and walk into the water until you're completely submerged and you feel the cool and comfortable water all around you. And you find that in this river you can breathe. And allow yourself to experience breathing beneath the river, beneath the surface. And every time you breathe in, it's as though cooling, healing water is washing out all of the heat and overactivity of the mind. And you breathe in through the front of your forehead. The cooling water comes in, washes through your mind, and you release through the back of your head. And it feels surprisingly easy and natural to do this. And as you breathe, you come into awareness of nature and the water and the earth beneath the water, the sky above, the sun, the air, and you feel relaxed. Let your body relax, taking a breath in and releasing through your whole body. And again, in this lovely river of mind, just watching your mind for the next thought that arises. And as it does, then just pluck that thought out of your mind and let it be taken off by the current down the river. And repeat this again. Imagine that the river is flowing through your body, a river of clean and clear energy and calmness. And breathing out through the back of your head. And watching your mind. Keep bringing your awareness back to your mind. The mind itself rather than the thoughts within the mind. And as a thought arises, then lovingly take that thought out of your mind, pluck it out and give it to the river and let it float away. And we'll use that metaphor one more time. Watching your mind. Let the river of clean, clear, peaceful energy flood through your mind. Watching your mind. And when the thought arises, you carefully extract it from your mind and give it to the river. Bring your awareness back to your mind each time and watch your mind, this precious mind, watching your mind and thanking it for all of its hard work today. And let it know it's time now for rest. Time now for relaxation. Time now for you. And just take another moment to enjoy the peace of your practice. And then when you're ready, just bring your awareness back into your physical being, coming back within the physical body. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Beautiful. So, how was your experience of our little introduction to meditation this evening? How did you go? Just feel free to type something in the chat, because it's always interesting to see how we all went. And while you're doing that, I'll just read this question. What's the proper meditation pose, stance, or posture? I see people sitting cross-legged with their hands out, resting on their knees. Is that how you're supposed to do it? Well, if you feel comfortable like that, that's fine. And as I said before, it's really up to you. Few people feeling relaxed and sleepy and calm. Very nice. Relaxing, good. Fell asleep. Good on you. That's a win, isn't it? Calm and relaxed. Love the visualization. Yeah, anytime you like, you can take yourself to a little river and just hang out with your mind. Give it a bit of a wash in the river. Pluck out the thoughts, give them to the river, off you go. Thank you. It's good, isn't it? So easy. Bit groggy, you'll be right in a moment. You can always just wriggle your fingers and toes a little bit or give yourself a shake if you feel a bit groggy. Sometimes a lot moves during a little meditation like that. And it can, yeah, good experience. That's good. Another one fell asleep. I think that's a win. Excellent. All right. Well, a few others putting the comments in. That's good. Looks good. Liked the guidance. Feeling light, relaxing, a bit confronting from my partner who didn't stay for the whole thing. Perhaps we need to just try again. Yeah, that's right. Do it at your own pace. And anything like this can be confronting. Let's face it, we're looking at our mind and how we're feeling and getting in connection with our body. So for some people that can be confronting. We just take it easy, one step at a time. Always better to err on the side of nourishing and caring and take it slowly. All right, well, let's just share a couple of resources that might be helpful between now and next time. So let me share my screen, my slide deck again. All right, so if you have any questions, please feel free to post them now or at the end. I'll stay back for a few minutes in case anybody would like to ask anything. We're from the Wellbeing Initiative. We're based in Cooranbong, here on the north central coast towards the Hunter. We have people who work with us all over the world. And in fact, usually we spend a lot of our time traveling internationally and sharing lift and other techniques for well-being. We have a website, the WBI Wellbeing Initiative, thewbi.org, and on there you'll see meditations that are free. All you have to do is click on them, and they're either led by me or by my colleague, Dr. Kathy Parego, who's the psychiatrist in the USA, who was partnering with me at the beginning of the COVID crisis. So there's the insomnia ones. The more filled in the star is, the more involved the meditation is, the less filled in, the simpler it is. So you can sort of suit yourself with that. We also have all of these meditations that you can just click on one and have a go, and it tells you how long they are. They range from about 5 minutes to about 20 minutes, and you're most welcome to try as many as you'd like. If any practice such as this brings stuff up for you, which I suppose it may, for some people, do be aware of all the resources that are in your area. And I guess as you are the Primary Healthcare Network, you probably know these already, but I thought that I'd just list a few of the resources that are around. And don't forget that the PHN has got a ton of resources for anyone who's feeling a little vulnerable. And also I've just got the resource of our site there. We also do one-on-one sessions that are meditative kind of therapy. It's called lift therapy, which I'll be talking about more in subsequent sessions, and we'll have some experiences of lift together as well. And it's very gentle and very nourishing. If anyone wants to book in for that, there's a phone number there as well. So next Thursday, this coming Thursday at 1 p.m, we'll be doing another session, which is about dumping what's been dumped on you and releasing all the scared, stressed, angry energy that you might have picked up at work. And then next Monday night, we've got an inner spa in lockdown where we're going to give our nervous systems a bath. And that feels absolutely delicious. So I hope you can join me for those. So thank you very much for being here. And as I said, I'll just remain on here for a couple of minutes in case anybody's got any questions. But otherwise, enjoy your evening. Thanks for being here. And I hope that it's been helpful. And I'll see you next time.